Hey.
Wait, hold on.
No?
Did that catch?
Did what catch?
I opened a beer.
Oh, I'm going to do that too.
Fuck yeah! What are you drinking?
I am drinking Summit Summer Ale. That is a local brew. I almost only drink local beer, so it's hard to recommend it to people.
Yeah, no, I'm drinking a local beer too, a Three Heads double IPA, which I don't know how much I like a double IPA outside of inside of a bottle. Like if I could have a glass to pour it in, yes, I love it. Like I will take any extremely hoppy beer. Inside of a bottle, it feels a little bit more concentrated. I'll still drink it. I still do enjoy it. I think I prefer it more out of a bottle.
Yeah, I am hard to please when it comes to IPAs. I like my Belgian IPAs because I think Belgian yeast brings out the best in every beer.
I'm just a dumb slut who doesn't know a damn thing about beers, and I just like it. I just like the way it tastes like I'm biting into an orange peel.
I really like the fruity citrusy IPAs. You know, like the juicy ones, the hazy ones. I know they're really fatty right now, but like I enjoy them. I think they're.
You still fuck with it.
I fuck pretty hard with it because I don't mind the idea of fruity beers, but I hate sours. Because they taste like candy, and if I wanted a sour beverage, I would get a cocktail. You know what I mean?
I fucking love sours. We've had this conversation before.
I think we have.
Absolutely.
You have to try some Belgian beers because they are the best shit in the world.
I think they've only had like the like Blue Moon's Belgian White, and I think that's about it.
Right, and that is a Coors. I mean, it's owned by Coors, so it tastes like Coors with orange peel like breathed into it, basically. They did the LaCroix technique. Right, exactly.
I say that as someone who fucking loves to drink sparkling water.
Oh, I love LaCroix, but if I want my beer to actually taste like something.
Yeah. Just eating a leaf.
Right. No, you have to get some Belgians. You have to get a Saison, which is the Belgian farmhouse, or anything that says Belgian anywhere in it. Because there's just something particular. It's something with all farmhouses, but particularly with Belgian ones. The yeast makes it taste like funky. It's kind of like having a distinguished palate for weird cheeses is what. Is what I would equate. So I basically replaced my enjoyment of strange cheeses with my enjoyment of strange beers, since I'm dairy free.
Nice.
I mean, I've been dairy free for a while now, but yeah. But I'm filling that void within myself.
Yeah. Nice.
One must somehow.
I had literally the longest recording I've ever done in both the most time I spent recording a podcast in one session and in one day yesterday. I cracked both those records.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for this one to be like a nice, and I loved the hell out of that. Don't get me wrong. Like that's a great episode and I'm really excited for everyone to hear it. But I'm also excited for this one to just be like a leisurely stroll down the path of, remember that movie you watched a week and a half ago?
Yeah, just a little nugget. Just a little horror movie nugget.
Just a little bonus nug.
Shall we get into it?
Must we?
We
must! I say that like I'm dreading this movie. I like this podcast. Welcome to Fear Baiting, your number one, Mom Said It's My Turn to Use the Head Smashing Mallet podcast.
Have you been sitting on that one all day?
No, I just came up.
You said it with such confidence that I had to assume. that you'd been sitting on it for all day.
Yeah,
Guess who's
no.
back, bitch? It's me.
Just for an episode.
Just for an episode. I'll be back probably in September as well. And
Yes,
then
because we have an episode planned.
we do. And then 1st of October I'll be back. And yeah. So, but right now I'm here. Hello, it's me.
Yep.
It's Blair. Say hi to Blair.
It's Blair. We've missed Blair. Blair has not been absent from your life if you have also been listening to The Wonder Years. But if this is your main squeeze and you don't listen to Animorphs podcast, welcome back, Blair. How long have you been gone now?
Ooh, jeez. It's been
Jesus Christ, Margie Gunderson, slow the fuck down.
this is who I become when I don't have your East Coast elitism influence upon me or whatever.
You become Margie Gunderson from Fargo?
Yeah. I live with so I went to high school with her, but she's way more Midwestern than me because she has a lot more family from up north. My
Sure.
roommate. So I've kind of got maybe a bad influence from that because, yeah, long O's and stuff like that. Oof.
By the way,
Oof-ah.
it's been over 5 months since your departure from this podcast.
Yeah, I assumed it was something to that flavor. About 6, I was gonna guess, but 5. Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah, but I'm back. It feels good. It feels natural, especially because I don't need to recount the plot of this movie, which actually isn't too hard. It's not a complicated movie.
No, this is going to be a podcast that's really just going to be us discussing parts of the movie that we liked and disliked, and just obviously we're not going to go through beat by beat like we normally do for the regular episodes.
Right.
This is just going to be I'm just going to have a quick rundown. So our 5 main players are Danny.
We should say we're talking. I know it says on the episode title, but we are
we're
talking about
Midsommar.
the new Ari Aster
Aster's
movie.
Midsommar.
Yes.
Yep. So Florence Pugh, phenomenal in this movie. I mean, this entire cast is great, but I think Florence Pugh, this is like Toni Collette Hereditary levels. I felt like.
Oh yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah.
Are they all like grad students?
I think they're PhD students.
They're all PhD students. Yeah. So there's Danny, her boyfriend Christian, Christian's friends Josh, Pele, and Mark. Pele is the Swedish one, and he is their entry to the Midsommar Festival in Sweden. So the plot is basically the movie opens with a really, really upsetting scene.
It felt very familiar. You know, I was like
very reverse Hereditary.
Right. Like I felt, I understand. Like, this is an Ari Aster movie immediately upon opening it. Actually,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so basically we open with Danny just like slowly realizing that her sister has done basically murder-suicided herself and her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens, and she's really upset, and her boyfriend Christian is about to break up with her at the time that it happens, but then he's like, well, I can't really break up with a girl whose entire family just died.
Right.
So I'm just going to kind of stick it out. Then 6 months later, it's summer. She finds out that he and the other boys are planning on going to Sweden, and she gets a little bit she's upset that she gets left out of that conversation.
Right.
They talk. She goes to Sweden. They go to Sweden. They trip on drugs for a while. Everyone dies. Well, every one of the 5 dies except for Danny, who becomes the May Queen and presumably lives the rest of her life with these cultists.
So I would say the thesis of this movie is respect women.
Respect women. I also think. I think there's two theses, which is I think the one thesis is respect women, and the other thesis is found families are good.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say there's.
Now, for full disclosure, it's been about a week and a half since we've both seen this movie.
Right. I felt a little bit... I mean, obviously, so the movie ends with Christian basically being chosen to... is stuffed into a bear body.
Yeah,
and
the world's
then,
worst fursuit.
Right. And Danny is given the option, okay, so we need one more human sacrifice. Do you sacrifice this rando, who you don't know... but who's offered himself, he's willingly, this is a community that's very death positive.
Yeah.
And so he's offered himself. He's totally cool with it. Or do you want to sacrifice your shitty boyfriend, who is probably going to die anyway. Let's be completely honest. I don't think there was any saving him. And I think she kind of realized that at that point because he's like completely paralyzed. And she knows that all of the other people she came with are dead. So she's like, yeah, let's kill that one. And we get the whole scene of that. And then like her laughing at the end, after it's like sobbing and then laughing basically.
Yeah, it's excellent. And I know we had very different reactions coming out of this movie because I felt like refreshed. Like walking out of Hereditary left like a pall on my entire night, and I was really worried that was going to be the case with Midsommar. But Midsommar, like, I don't want to say that I was completely unperturbed. Like, there have been scenes that have been sticking around in my head, but like nothing compared to what I expected given Hereditary, and mildly refreshed by the end of it.
I don't think that's unwarranted. I think a lot of my reaction had to do with the reaction of the person I was seeing it with, who definitely was way more stressed out about it, and like was like had the beginnings of a migraine like an hour before we started watching it, but she was all like, I'm gonna take an Excedrin, I'm gonna eat some food, it's gonna be fine. It was not fine.
Yeah. And also I know you are not a huge fan of like psychedelics and such.
No, not really. I don't mind. This definitely turned me off of them even more. But that doesn't inherently ruin a piece of media for me.
It's very funny because this actually pushed me a little bit towards talking to Andrea about doing acid.
I think, and like I know another person who did like mushrooms just the other night, and I have to assume not only a little bit, like influenced by this movie because like
of course
they were really into it. So I don't know.
From what I've been told, the hallucinogens the hallucinations for the most part were pretty accurate to like average sights when you are tripping.
When you're on shrooms. Because it's just a lot of like things wiggling mostly.
Yes. I'm so excited.
There was the everything wiggling and faces distorting.
One of my favorite parts regarding this is when she like just becomes May Queen and she gets that crown on her head and those flowers are like breathing.
Yes.
And it's they're like the first things to move, and like I was just like stuck on them. Like, is that a trick of the eye or are those things moving? And I stared at them for like a minute during that scene. There
was a lot of moments like that for me in this movie. Yeah. There was the moment when Christian. This is so cool because I was sitting with my friend and she was like, hey, why is his drink a different color than everyone else's? And I was just hitting her on the arm and I'm like, oh my God, it's menstrual blood.
It's pussy blood.
It's menstrual blood. And then he pulls out a pube of his thing and I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, yes. Here's a thing that I don't know if you noticed. I didn't notice. The person I saw it with did notice. Danny calls Christian the entire movie, which is definitely not an American pronunciation of that name.
Are you thinking Danny's like a plant?
Yeah, I'm talking about you. Get out of here.
Is this a salt situation? Is she like a plant? Is she like a deep cover agent for the Swedes?
It's that's a theory. There's an element of it. I mean, there's like, we're flirting with reality. Mildred wants to leave. All right, get out of here, you old woman. All right.
Grandma Katie.
She's not that old. She's actually one of the younger cats I've lived with in a while. Get out of here. I live with a real old woman back at my parents' place. She's like 10 or 11 or something. She's up there.
Yeah.
Where was I? What was I talking about?
You were talking about the scene where Christian drinks pussy blood, and you said that she pronounces his name like Christian. Yeah,
the entire movie, even before she goes to Sweden, Danny does, and I think it's obviously we're like flirting with reality here, but so it's like what's fantasy and what's not, and how much can we say is actually happening. There's another interpretation is possibly not that she's a plant, but this is just fated,
Oh,
like she was just destined to play this role. Do they believe? I can't remember. Does this particular? I don't feel like it's appropriate to call it a cult, even though it kind of is. it's a religious commune, you know.
Yeah.
Most things are cults, but you know, we reserve the word cult for a specific sort of situation. Do they believe in reincarnation? I'm not 100% sure. I don't really remember.
I think something like that. I'm
Because
not
they
100%.
definitely have a season based,
Yeah,
regimented
and
understanding of
speaking of that,
life.
they talk about how they're. I don't remember the exact correspondence of the seasons. But I really because they divide it up into like it's from age 0 to what was it 0 to 16.
0 to 16. Oh, for each of them? Yeah, I think it's a 16 year for each of them or something like that.
So it's 0 to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 48, 48 to 64. And I think the thing that I found interesting was that you could, like, among every single extra in that movie, you could tell at a glance exactly what of those 4 stages they were in.
Yeah, it was really
like,
cool.
I never felt, like, I mean, this was just, like, a really small thing, but, like, I never felt like one of the characters was, like, on a border. And you could always tell, like, oh, this character's about to fucking jump off a cliff, break both their legs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
that scene was rough.
Here's my analysis of why I think Midsommar was so viscerally upsetting to me in a way that Hereditary had me leaving very uncomfortable, but Midsommar had me leaving nauseous, and I think this is why for me personally. When we think of our most gory movies, we think of there's build up to each apex, you know? We don't just have these isolated moments of gore surrounded by what is essentially, in comparison to it, empty space, you know? It's neutral space.
I was about to say that. I think that's like the point, and I also completely understand why that's like.
I think it's good. I think it's good that this movie got that reaction out of me.
Yeah.
I think
you just personally didn't like to feel it.
And it's not even that I didn't like to feel it. It's just that's just the reaction I had to it, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
I think if that was its goal, it was successful. I also think the sort of like you know pickled ginger after you eat some sushi sort of refreshment you had from it specifically is also intentional in that same sort of empty space sort of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I completely forgot that scene was real. I think that, I mean, even with the broken leg part, that may have been like my favorite scene in the movie.
It was
like not that I like particularly love to see 2 old people just like cream themselves off a cliff. Cream yourself definitely has a different meaning than like dying. Like I feel like creaming.
It definitely does. Like extremely does.
So not that I really enjoyed seeing 2 people yeet themselves off a cliff and one of them break their legs and have to be killed by a giant hammer.
Right.
But I just think that scene was like so. Like I was just like a ball of tension for that scene. Like oh god, like as soon as that started, I knew. As soon as that scene started, as soon as we saw the clip, I knew exactly what was going to happen.
Right.
And it took like I don't know, like 6-7 minutes to get to actual like touchdown. I guess
long enough that you thought that maybe it wasn't going to happen or that they weren't going to show it. I don't know why I thought that Ari Aster wasn't going to show it. Because it's that there's you have a sort of immediacy with the worst parts of what's happening. You not only do we see everything as it's happening, we see it again later. And at different iterations. I kind of so first the woman's face falling. She falls face first onto a rock, and it like her face explodes basically. And that's not fun, but it looks like Scanners. I mean, it looks more realistic than Scanners, but it looks, it's like heads exploding like Scanners, you know?
Exactly like Scanners. There's functionally no difference between this movie and Scanners.
Right, exactly. But then the man, like you said, landing legs first, breaking his legs, and then still being alive and like choking on himself. I kind of, so that was rough, and I was like, hate this. That's fine. I kind of anticipated him being fucking whack-a-mole to be off screen, but it wasn't. I think it was 3 different people who hit him in the head, and I think they showed every one of those.
I think that scene was also really funny when the 3 or 4 people like hit him on the head. Not funny, but like they just kind of like give him like from our perspective, it just kind of looks like they give him a love tap and it kills him, and then they do it again and it crushes his face, and like it obviously there's much more weight to it, but like Ari Aster does not feel the need to like do it more.
Yeah, I didn't.
Like,
I was just so shocked that I was seeing this. Not, I mean, again, I shouldn't be because it's Ari Aster, but like, I was just so shocked to be seeing it that like nothing else registered.
yeah,
I, and just like that, the fact that none of the people who were like had like the you know the Americans, the outsiders were had joined were like looking away at all was like I was like, oh my god, I would be just dying in that situation. Like, I mean, death rituals or whatever. I don't think it's like the most fucked up thing that happens in this movie, even though it is what causes the two British students to be like, "Fuck you guys, we're out."
yeah,
But I would have just been like, "Okay, whatever, I'm leaving." Not
yeah.
leaving, but
Bye.
I'm maybe for this particular event, I'm just gonna take a rain check on this
Yeah.
one. Thank you. Please
Might
don't
go.
wear my face as a mask later.
Might go smoke a joint in the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
So can we talk a little bit about the things about this movie that we didn't like, the things that missed for us? Because I do have a couple of qualms about this movie,
Go for it.
minor
Yeah.
and major. So, I personally don't have bipolar disorder. I kind of felt like that was just like a weird throwaway line to throw bipolar people under the bus. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It feels like I understand the reason that it was there. I know the narrative purpose that it served. It still felt, and like I might be out of line here. I might need to be I might be out of my lane. It felt stigmatizing. Like if instead of bipolar disorder, a mental illness that I am affected by was listed there, I feel like I would have felt like it was stigmatizing.
yeah. No, I mean, I totally get that. Ari Aster, I mean, for a lot, I think probably even more in this movie than in Hereditary, has a problem with ableism.
Yeah.
I think it's not something that people talk about because it's not like scary asylum, mental ill, psychosis patient sort
No,
of
but it very
ableism,
much
you know?
is like in both this and Hereditary, you have like the visibly disabled child, the visibly disabled, possibly magical child as a source of horror, and
Right.
like Charlie at least had things to do in the first movie. Like Charlie like was a character until her head came off, and like she had like an impact. Whereas like the visibly disabled kid in this movie, I don't remember his name because
I
he's
don't,
so
he was given
does-
one. He was just like the Oracle or something like that.
yeah, he shows up in like 2 scenes and that's it. He shows up he shows up once to be introduced and then once when there's like that weird orgy where like Christian is fucking the Swedish girl on a fucking Thanksgiving day on a Thanksgiving platter.
Right.
We like pan up to see him just like sitting in bed and like that's all we see of this character. And the only reason this character's in this movie to be like, whoa, a kid that's visibly disabled. Fucked up.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's again, and then the explanation there is that like, oh yeah, we don't have. They talk a lot about how, oh yeah, we're really careful about mitigating incest in this sort of community and like keeping genetic diversity and stuff like that, even as isolated as it is.
Yeah.
But we specifically choose our oracle through inbreeding, which is why this, and it's like it seems as though this is supposed to be a sort of explanation that warrants this child's existence, but it's mostly like, isn't inbreeding fucked up? Isn't disability through inbreeding fucked up or scary or whatever? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I guess, but it's also like not like the fucking 1500s.
Like,
And like,
what purpose does I'm not even asking why does this character have to be disabled. I'm asking the question, what purpose overall does this character serve for this movie? That like what instrumental, like every other character in this movie I feel like has a purpose. There is a method to them being there. This character genuinely just feels like I cannot figure out a reason for this that is not just like, whoa,
right.
looks weird, right?
If this book, that's because of what I'm thinking about next. If this character did not exist, I think the movie would be functionally the same because
Identical.
you could have this sort of like book that's like their scripture exist, which is a reason for one of the characters dying because he takes pictures from it, and then he's offed because that he was explicitly told not to. that book can exist without this character existing. That is what felt very cliched. That like this movie avoids a lot of cliches because it's like a
I mean, I feel like it avoids a lot of cliches. It also stumbles like dick first into some of them because, like, aside from the two old people that jump off a cliff, like the two black British people are the first to die. I mean, one of them survives, depending on what you consider surviving for a little bit longer.
That's
Kinda
rough.
gets bled out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, aside from the two people who launched themselves off the cliff, like, they're the first two to die. Except for, like, all of, like, the... Once the story is, like, in motion proper. You know what I mean?
Right. I guess, but to counterbalance that, it's the white dude who vapes from the Americans is the one who dies first from their little group, you know?
Oh, God, is he from the Americans?
The one who's vaping?
Yeah, Will Poulter?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
idea.
No, I mean, he was one of the American people with them.
I thought you meant the TV show The Americans.
No. No, he was in the Maze Runner movie.
Yes, he very much was.
That's how I know, because my roommate who I saw it with has watched all the Maze Runner movies, and she was like, "He's from Maze Runner," and I was like, "Yeah, and that's Chidi."
Oh yeah.
It was fun to see Chidi, I think, in a more dramatic role.
I love William Jackson Harper. Like, I figured William Jackson Harper was, like, a good dramatic actor, given what he had.
But it was so fun. Yeah, I like, especially in a horror movie, Yeah, I guess the other thing, I've seen criticisms about this movie, like, we don't need more movies about pagan cults being scary. I kind of agree. It's not really problematic so much as it's, like, a little overtread.
It's been done. Yeah. Like, I feel like Hereditary was, like, I'm trying to think of the way that I want to put this. Like, I feel like this, like, Hereditary, I felt like was Ari Aster's, like, that was not, like, a horror story I had seen before. Not on that, like, sort of, like, not like that, you know?
And it definitely felt more like a sort of Rosemary's Baby cult sort of vibe, if that makes sense,
Yes. It just it feels like these two movies are very much pulling from the same well, and I definitely think that Midsommar suffers for it. I think it is a worse movie than Hereditary because of that. Maybe if these had come out in reverse order, I would have different opinions because I would be saying the same thing about Hereditary. But I digress in that I feel like these are, though they're very, like, the base structure of them is very similar in a way you can kind of track, horrible family tragedy, like cults, fucking, like,
head trauma,
very much head trauma. Yeah. Oh, there was some head trauma.
Yes,
someone's head comes off.
Yeah.
Naked old ladies.
Naked old ladies, very important.
Yep. You had to see all those naked old lady titties.
I think
I got mad during that scene in the theater because everyone in that theater was laughing, and I don't begrudge them for it. Like, I think that was an unreasonable anger specifically because I think that movie conditioned you to laugh a lot more than Hereditary did. Just
definitely, because it, like, actually
there are jokes. It's hilarious. I think.
Right. Yeah.
Did Ari Aster was Ari Aster on script for doing the script for this too?
I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Yes, he did. So, I mean,
yeah.
this tells me Ari Aster does have some pretty solid comedy chops. Maybe he's shown this in prior works that he's done, but I haven't seen his non-feature works, so I don't really know. Someone started mowing the lawn, so sorry if that picks up.
Yeah, I don't hear it, so I think you're fine.
So, like, I think this movie is genuinely hilarious. Like, there are a ton of, like, genuine belly laughs out of me from this movie, and I think
it has a really colorful cast, so
yeah. Absolutely. I think the cast is great. I think the dynamic that they all have with each other is really fun. And, like, I think that, like, the jokes... Like, I feel like Hereditary was just, like, a pressure valve that just kept getting more and more backed up. Like, there was a blockage in it somewhere. And, like, this is very much the same. And, like, I feel like letting out those little, like, spurts of laughter to relieve the tension just a little bit made me feel less, like... It made me feel much less tense, and whether that's good or bad, I'm personally not entirely sure, but I liked it a lot. I think Ari Aster is very funny, and I would like to see him just do, like, an out-and-out comedy at some point.
You think so? I don't know if I would enjoy that.
I don't know. I think he's got jokes.
He's too much of an auteur, you know? He's like too film festival-y to do like a comedy that I'd be interested in seeing. He could do a dramedy, certainly. But, you know, what is a drama but not a dramedy inherently?
You have a good point.
Yeah, I guess the reason why I think we do these sort of like neo-pagan cults or these like satanic cults is that because of the cults that actually exist within America presently, or in our recent present, like recent past, are a little too close to home for us to actually do horror movies about it. And when I have seen those attempted, they suck ass because they are.
So is this basically your way of saying that there has been a Heaven's Gate movie and it sucks shit?
No, I saw basically a Jonestown knockoff movie. Oh,
that's bad.
I don't remember what it was called, but it was literally Jonestown, but called something else. And it just sucked. It just sucked so much. It was like what if Jonestown had BuzzFeed journalists at it? Is essentially the plot of that movie. I don't remember what it was called. I wish I could. Unrelated to the
topic at hand, but because you said that, do you remember how the director of Halloween 2018, David Gordon Green, just has like a fucking axe to grind with podcasters? Remember how the movie starts? The movie starts with like two of the most like intentionally infuriating fucking like true crime podcasters I've ever seen on the silver screen.
Right.
And like to be fair, I listen to true crime now. I know that that's how true crime podcasters be like.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes yes, but still, it just felt like David Gordon Green. Like I felt like a podcaster had wronged him at some point in his life.
Yeah. I have not to open that can of worms. I have my personal qualms with some quote unquote investigative journalists because basically, if they're not, I distrust people who are not affiliated with an actual publication generally. Because it's like, well, what kind of actual investigative journalist training do you really have? You can't just knock on people's doors and be like, tell me about the murder. Yeah, that's basically my problem with that. I think they're right. I think they have rights. I think Halloween 2018 was right to put podcasters on blast. That's my hot take. That is my hot take.
That's a pretty good take. I like that take. I'm listening to what was the podcast I listened to recently that I really liked that was a true crime podcast? It wasn't Crime Town, though. I have been enjoying Crime Town.
Crime Town fucks hard.
Crime Town does fuck hard. It also wasn't The Dream, even though I did listen to all of The Dream lately, and I very much intend to do it again sometime very soon. I can't find it. Oh, Somebody Somewhere. That's the podcast.
Oh, sure.
Have you heard of that one?
I haven't. I've heard of Someone Knows Something, but that's a different one, I'm sure.
Yeah, so the first season, at least, is about a federal prosecutor who was assassinated in his basement, and in fact, it's been a cold case for like 19 years. The government like pushes them away from it. Oh,
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm only a couple episodes in. It might not fuck that hard, but so far it fucks.
Yeah,
little bite-sized episodes. It doesn't have the weird bump. It doesn't have the shitty bumpers that Crime Town does.
I've been kind of endeared to their bumpers, if I'm being honest.
I just think it's really kind of just like advertising, just like I don't know. Some of the stuff that's like advertising other podcasts on there, like sure, I get that, but like something's like, hey, send your DNA away, and then like there's a story about how like DNA testing like fucked some dude over.
Yeah, oh my god.
Please, I know you have a rant about one of the podcasts you listen to.
Well, here's my problem. Podcasts can shill for whatever true crime podcasts can shill for whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. Except for 23andMe and Simply Safe. Because there's a big concerted effort with the FBI for being like, submit your DNA to databases, because admittedly it did help catch the Golden State Killer. That's a good thing. Like that guy was in the police force and nobody could catch him because nobody was thinking about looking in the police force, and then they used familial DNA to catch him. So fine, that's cool. But also there are risks. So I'm saying probably don't send your DNA anywhere. If you get arrested, you'll probably get your DNA taken, and I guess that's fine because you did get arrested. Same as like fingerprints or whatever else.
Oh God, that reminds me. I listened to a podcast recently. I was just like, hey, there's a true crime episode that Pocket Cast is recommending to me. I'm gonna listen to it. It's about the Golden State Killer, and like, it was pretty rote for like 20 minutes, and then they like gave like a really like they used like a testimony of like a woman who had like seen the Golden State Killer at her door at her window, and like it like the writing took like a step up for a second. I was like, oh shit, is this podcast actually good? And then as soon as they were done with like he was just outside my window, he could have gotten in. And that's why we recommend Simply Safe or what the fuck ever it is for like the home invasion protection thing. I was just like, okay, like, bye.
I'm not going to put the specific podcast on blast, but there was one that I was listening to. I have stopped because I realized it was making me crazy. Where the host would basically be like, "Would you put your children at risk? Buy Simply Safe." And Simply Safe is not an expensive service, so this could be done less ethically, but also you're monetizing fear, and that's bad. I would say thumbs down on monetizing fear.
Big thumbs down on monetizing fear from us at Fear Baiting. So you want to just like go down a list of like just some things that we really, really liked about this movie, since we've talked about, unless there's other bad stuff you have to holler about?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
I would say that I liked how this movie looks way more than Hereditary. The visuals in Hereditary are good, but not striking.
I think a lot of visuals in Hereditary kind of get what's the word, hamstrung by the fact that a lot of that movie does take place at night. And like, I'm not saying you cannot have a strong like visual landscape at night. It's just more that
it's a lot harder.
It is, and I definitely feel like the fact that, and a thing that I really liked about this movie is that like it was genuinely scary in moments of daylight, which I think is really, really hard for a horror movie to hit.
Right. And it's just, I think again, Ari Aster really is good at creating not fear within me, but just like horror, just like being which is a different emotion. Like it's not my heart is pounding. I don't have my like adrenaline racing. There's no not really any jump scares. It's just like being purely horrified at what you're seeing unfold before you. I think it's such a unique flavor in horror movies, ironically. And I like that being evoked from me, even if I feel like I have to watch SpongeBob for 3 hours after I watch the movie, which is what I ended up doing.
Nice.
Even though it did kind of, every time I was watching SpongeBob, I was like, it's early season SpongeBob, like the first season of SpongeBob, like half these episodes are just like little self-contained horror movies within themselves, so that was a problem.
Yeah. What other things did I like about this movie? You talked about the. I really like the cinematography. I mean, I know it was talked to death. I feel like in Hereditary, and I'll talk it to death again. I think Ari Aster is really, really good at symmetry. I think Ari Aster loves to fucking like flip the camera upside down and sideways, and like,
it's really disorienting in the best way.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's like slowly becoming like a signature move of his to just like flip the camera upwards, like you're panning to the sky for a cut, and then just like flip it all the way around. Right.
It's like it creates a sense of vertigo, definitely.
Yeah.
I loved in this movie the constant use of reflections.
Yes. I forgot about that until just now, and it gave me chills to hear you mention it.
I think it used often to create distance between people in a room, because you wouldn't see two people. And this sort of like, when this sort of shot was utilized, two people like basically in the same shot together, unless it like, except through this boundary of reflection. They're in the same room, and you know that intellectually, but
one of them is behind the camera and only can be seen through a reflection. The other two people are in front of the camera. Right,
exactly. I think when this was most interesting utilized is when Danny was reflected in not a mirror but like a flat screen TV.
Yes.
And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, it was only ever Danny who was being reflected, not anyone else.
That's not true. Christian's entire conversation with the guys where he's like, so I invited Danny along, but she's not going to say yes.
Oh, no, you're totally right. You're
that
totally
happens,
right.
and also there is it's a small scene, but there is, when the second time you see Pele draw, no, the third time you see Pele drawing, this is the time where, like, at the table after she's been crowned the May Queen, you see him drawing, and you can see his reflection in the table.
Yeah, you're totally right. And I was actually flipping the scene around the first conversation she has with Christian, where he's reflected in the mirror. I was flipping that whole situation around.
Speaking of conversations with Christian, a very small thing but fucking phenomenal blocking that I love to call attention to. That scene after Danny finds out about the Sweden trip and she's upset and they're like having an argument in their apartment and Danny is like, why didn't you tell me? Like, Christian starts like getting kind of shitty about it and just being, and like as soon as like he's like kind of apologizing, kind of like turning, kind of like trying to leave, and then like Danny grabs him, they switch places, like where like they switch left right positioning. So, and as soon as Danny moves from the right to the left, she starts apologizing like she has done something wrong.
Right.
And I thought that was a really cool blocking thing.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that, and also the writing as well. Like, the way she apologizes, she's like, no, I'm sorry, I just want to understand, you know? Because she's like, there's distance, I see distance creating because the person I'm dating is not willing to communicate with me, so I'm going to bring myself down to his level where he feels like he doesn't have to defend himself. I'm the one who's defending myself. I just, like, I understand that emotional, like, and, like, emotionally rhetorical sort of, like, way to communicate with someone when you feel like they're pulling away and you feel like it's unfair for them to pull away. I just loved, I mean, quote unquote, loved their relationship. I thought it had all the hallmarks of like a failing relationship between two people who feel like they should still care about each other. You know, like they didn't hate each other and they kind of barely resented each other. It was just like we're in a relationship. We need to continue to be in a relationship because this is what people in relationships do, you know? Obviously, Christian is not a good boyfriend.
No.
But in a way that's not... In a way that it can be emulated in real life, in a way that's not necessarily...
right, he's not like cartoon character.
Cartoonishly evil, right, exactly.
Yeah. He's just like kind of a shitty and emotionally unavailable boyfriend who kind of accidentally like... I don't know if it's accidentally, but like he kind of like sort of gaslights, sort of emotionally pushes Danny to places.
Yeah, definitely.
Bad boyfriend. But
definitely, yeah. I mean,
definitely deserves to be crammed in the world's worst fursuit and burned alive.
Sure. By the end of the movie, certainly. By the beginning of it, I think he probably just deserved to break up with Danny.
Yeah. Speaking of bad boyfriend, I think a really interesting detail that I saw pointed out to me. This is a very Reddit comment, but I think it's intentional, and I like it. But just that scene when Christian is like, "No, I didn't remember your birthday. I totally had this piece of cake and candle." He can't light the thing because the spark won't go. Mm-hmm. Like literally, the spark between them has vanished.
Right. Exactly.
It is literally a spark between them that is gone.
And it's actually a really tense moment because you can tell that neither of them want to be doing this thing that they're doing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting. It's like such banal relationship tension that in a sort of horror movie context, it's interesting. I think it's again, it's that sort of, I hate the word juxtaposition, but it's that sort of juxtaposition.
I love the word juxtaposition.
I feel like I use it too much when I talk about it. It's when I talk about movies, because every piece of media at least should have intentional juxtaposition between two elements. So obviously it's there, but it's like, it's this sort of like, you know, this difference between, it's this banal tension that culminates in like literal like burning alive, you know. So it's I don't know. It's a weird movie. I liked it. I don't know. I'm excited to see where Ari Aster's film career goes from here. I hope he is a little. He's obviously an imaginative person who has a really strong vision. I would love to see him direct a movie that he didn't write.
Yeah.
I don't love the whole idea of like the director as an auteur, you know? I
Yeah,
think it's
absolutely. And I think that I feel like if Ari has like someone else writing for him, I think that like or like at least someone else collaborating with him to like knock down some of him saying, okay, so what if this child had a really bad burn mark all over their face? Like just so someone can just like say, hey, you did that, you already did that twice.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wish I knew what he was what he thought he was trying to say with that sort of situation.
Yeah.
Because
I kind of want to just like get
because
on
I
mic and be
guarantee
like,
you
hey.
there's like a better way to say what he's trying to say.
Absolutely, 100%.
But I mean, generally speaking, I'm excited. I was excited about Hereditary. I'm excited about this movie, and I'm excited for. I like these weird film festival horror movies.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think. I mean, horror as a genre was an art before them, but I don't think this elevates them. I just think it's a new way we're interacting with horror as a genre, and I think it. I think it says something about, you know, how horror says stuff about our psyche, like generally. I think it says something about our psyche, but I haven't figured out what it is yet.
Yeah. I also think that it says that like A24 has been a massive boon for this industry. Like they have published some phenomenal movies like since they started producing and distributing back in 2013. But like I think they have been like exceptional for horror movies because like. Yeah. I don't think Hereditary makes big screen without A24 coming in. I don't think Midsommar makes big screen. I don't think It Comes at Night makes the big screen if A24 is not there. I don't think The Black Coat's Daughter comes to the big screen. Like there are so many excellent horror movies that A24 has bankrolled, and I am glad that they are putting their weight behind that. I mean, they're doing other really good things, like, you know, they did The Killing of the Sacred Deer and Lady Bird, and fucking Moonlight, like a whole bunch of good movies. But I think that they have played a large role in getting these art house films in front of more people's eyes. I would not have seen It Comes at Night otherwise. I would not have seen these two Ari Aster movies. Have you seen It Comes at Night, by the way?
I haven't.
That movie fucks. That movie's also fucked.
I've heard good things about it. I just think, like, I think this was 2015 or 2016. I remember the first A24 movie I saw was The Witch. I saw it, and I'm like, it felt reminiscent of a Lars von Trier, but it was like, oh, this is kind of a new era for horror, because I don't know if Lars von Trier would call himself a horror director. I think he's too much of a Nazi for that. Lars von Trier. I hate Lars von Trier. Maybe one of these days I'll watch Antichrist again and enjoy it, but I fucking hated it the first time I watched it.
What if his name was like Lord von Trier? Lorde?
I don't know. Do you have a punchline to that joke, or are you expecting me to supply one?
I think you accidentally said like Lars von Trier at one point. My brain was like, hey, let's go on that fun tangent. And I don't really have... The tangent did not go very far.
Sure. Suddenly I can't remember any Lorde songs, and except
Summertime Sadness.
That's Lana Del Rey, and I was just about to say Summertime Sadness, but that is Lana Del Rey, babe.
Video Games was also Lana Del Rey?
What?
Video Games?
Yeah, that was also on the same album.
Royals. Lorde did
Royals. I can't believe you named 2 Lana Del Rey songs. Who are you? What kind of homosexual are you? Jesus.
Wait, do you mean that I don't know Lorde, or that I know Lana Del Rey? I don't know which of those you're supposed to be like making fun of me for.
You should be able to tell the difference between them, is what I'm saying. Because
I don't listen to either of them. I've listened to 2 songs by Lana Del Rey and 1 song by Lorde. Actually, no, I listened to... What's that Lorde album where she's like... It's like blue and she's like laying on a bed or something?
Melodrama.
Yeah, I liked that album, but I don't remember a damn song off of it.
It's good. It's a good album. Green Light is a song off of it, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know that song by name. Do you have anything else you want to get off your chest about this movie, or do you want to get into question?
Let's get into questions.
Question is the end of the movie just a trolley problem? And I would say no, because I feel like...
kind of.
I mean, depending on how much you care for Christian by that time.
I mean,
okay, hold on. This is something that was like percolating in my brain at the time of the movie, and I just remembered it. And we'll go back to this question, I promise.
Yes.
But so is there anything here? But the 5 main characters, the non-Swedish one, all have biblical names. Like obviously Christian, Danny. You kind of have to stretch and make it the male version, which is Daniel, Josh, Joshua, and Mark. Is that anything?
It could be something. Definitely.
Daniel, the biblical figure, was thrown into a lion's den, right?
Maybe. You would know. You would think I would know because I was raised Catholic and I went to Sunday school. I don't really know. I would say counterpoint. Those are really common names, but counterpoint. That would be cool, wouldn't it? That would be fun.
I don't know where that's going. I just kind of need to get out of my zone.
Hypothetically speaking, it could be sort of like, oh, here is paganism versus Christianity. which very directly like work to oppress paganism.
Okay, now we're cooking.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we got a theory on our hands. Hold on,
I could write a paper about this. I don't think it's perhaps the most interesting part of it, but I could definitely write a paper about this if I wanted to.
I'm cutting this out. I'm cutting this out of the edit, by the way. I am going to write an essay about something for Paprika. I need to just after we do that movie, I need to do the podcast and then do like an hour-long call with you where I like bounce shit off of you for that essay.
Okay, we'll do.
Cool.
I'm into it.
But trolley problem. So if you were
void of context, sure.
Yeah.
It has to do with weighing human lives over one another, which is at the basis of the trolley problem.
It doesn't quite. I don't. Well, I mean, no. Actually, if we're going down like void of context, it's not the trolley problem because the trolley problem is supposed to be: do you act to kill one person or do you not act and let 5 people die? Whereas this is like this is more of a Sophie's Choice where she is forced to choose. It's not exactly a particularly tough decision like Sophie's Choice was, but I think calling this the trolley problem means that I feel like for the trolley problem to be called into effect, more than it cannot just be equal losses on both sides. I feel like for the trolley problem to be, you know what I mean?
I guess so.
One life or one life. I know the one life has a lot more meaning to Danny than the other one does. But
right.
I think in this specific case, I think the trolley problem would require more bodies to be on the line.
Counterpoint. I think the trolley problem is about what is the value of a human life, and can you really decide? Actually, I think this one is a lot more difficult because it's like, okay, we have a willing participant, but it's still a human being who's going to be killed versus my shitty boyfriend, but that's still a human being who's going to be killed. So which one deserves to be killed more, basically, which is similar, but not exactly the same as like, are 3 human lives valued more than 1 human life because isn't the loss of any life equivalent is a counterpoint to the trolley problem. But it's trolley problem-esque.
Yeah. Definitely. The answer, like, I was being pedantic just because that's my thing. And it's definitely more. The answer is definitely more yes than it is no.
Sure. Yeah. Someone should make that meme.
Yeah.
Listeners.
Anything else, or do you want to just wrap this up, plug your shit, and we get out of here?
I don't have anything else. Do we save recommendations for the main episodes? Since I haven't been on, can I recommend something?
Oh, absolutely. I won't stop you.
Listen to The Story Must Be Told. It's the best fucking podcast in the world. If you like short horror stories, listen to The Story Must Be Told. It's a short horror story podcast with a wraparound of it being like, again, like a sort of like more of a Scientology-esque cult, I would say. Like if Scientology was smaller and scarier, and a little bit more satanic, it would be the sort of vibe there. Listen to The Story Must Be Told. It's in the same network as Last Podcast on the Left. So if you like that sort of horror vibe, that sort of weird gruesomeness, it'll fuck your shit up. It is the best shit. Do that.
Blair,
anyway.
Blair, where can people find you?
You can find me at Blair Kitch on Twitter or on the Wonder Years, this other podcast I do. I don't know if you've heard of her. Her name is Sarah. I do it with her and also our mutual friend Seda, where we talk about Animorphs. And that's about it. I keep a low profile. You know how it is.
I also do Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, the Love to Them podcast, and I normally do the Patreon thing, but this is releasing as a Patreon exclusive for a couple of days before it goes to the audience. So if you're listening to this, it means you're already a patron. I'm not going to plug the patron stuff to you, the patrons. So
yeah, but what about when it releases to everyone else? Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck you guys.
You could have had this shit 3 days earlier, maybe a week earlier. I don't know when I'm putting this shit out.
Did you plug your shit? Sun has Zanya?
Yeah, Sun has Zhenya on Twitter, SUNHATZHENY. I'm taking a low profile to this shit this week. I'm really hot and I want to be able to turn my fan on.
Yeah, if you want to find us, like, look into your heart.
If you want to find us, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not that mean. I love you.
Release a bird into the sky and follow it where it goes.
Exactly.
Or maybe look under your bed. I might be there. You never know.
Who knows?
Bye. Yeah. I have been Blair.
I'm Sarah.
I want to say it, so you set me
And remember,
up. You can put a fucked up guy anywhere.
bye.
Bye.